Hello there YouTube, Vaughn here today again, and today I'll be talking more about what kind of a gamer that I am to you, to know that who this Vaughn guy is, what kind of games he like. And for those of you who come to my channel may already know that I am a big fan of Samurai Showdown and Samurai Warriors. Although I haven't played all of the games in those two franchises, I do actually enjoy games in them. So the ones that I do play about them, I really enjoy it. So today I'm gonna give you my top 15 of my favorite games that I really enjoy. And yeah, you will be surprised to see some of them. But remember that all these games are not ranked according to which one is better and which one is not though. These are just my 15 games that I want to tell you about that and why I really love about them. So yeah. So first games is this one. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. Now if you were a kid back in the 8-bit era, if that's what you want to call it, and you own an NES, there's gonna be, you have to agree that Capcom were the shit back then. They made a whole ton of Disney licensed game, and Chip 'n Dale to me is one of the best games that came out of those. There's also DuckTales too, but to me DuckTales is single player games, and me and my brother actually started playing Chip 'n Dale first before we got into DuckTales. So Chip 'n Dale is actually a big part of our childhood there. And yeah, at the time this is a really fun game to play. There's actually like up to maybe 15 levels in the game, perhaps maybe 14-15 levels, but you actually have to start at zone A and go all the way to zone G. So pretty much you can play as Chip or Dale. So if you're one player, you can choose between either of these, but if you're two players, then you can decide which one you want. But to me, I always play at Dale because Dale is really badass here. So yeah, it's not like any of those simple Super Mario Bros. Platform games. This is much more of a co-op platform games. You actually have a lot of things at your arsenals. You can hide in boxes, throw boxes, pick up tomatoes and veggies and throw at them just like in Super Mario Bros. 2. Yeah, there's not a lot of secret in the game, but the way the levels are designed and all the musics and all the stuffs are really makes this game shines through. So yeah, the way Capcom designed this, it's a really awesome game, and it's still playable today too. So yeah, I can always go back to this game whenever I want to. So yeah, Chip 'n Dale, an awesome game. So if you're collecting NES games nowadays, yeah, be sure to add Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers in there. Now I never play the sequels, and even if I do play it, it's nothing compared to this one. This first one, best one. So yeah, now the second games that we need to talk about is Blaster Master. Now most of the people that I know started playing Metroid before they played this game, but I actually start out with this game first. It's actually more in the same style as Metroid, but you're actually exploring more in depth. You're inside this vehicle shooting all these aliens and all these enemies, and then you can actually get out of the vehicle and start going exploring and finding power-ups and all that stuff. So yeah, it's actually a very enjoyable games. I don't know why, but there is I think there is kind of like a remake to this that was released a while ago on the Virtual Console or WiiWare, but this original one, yeah, it's a really fun game. it's one of those games that you need to play it in depth to actually enjoy it. So yeah, number 2 spot goes to Blaster Master here. And for my number 3, it's on Sega Genesis. So this Revenge of Shinobi. So one of my all-time favorite action games. You play the role of Joe Musashi's on your missions to rescue all those kids. And in this one, it's actually very good because you actually get to face some formidable foes in the games. On one level, you're fighting Spider-Man. On another, you're fighting Batman. And on another, you actually had to fight Godzilla. So that is actually what won me over this game. So yeah, this is one of the few action games that really caught my eye there. So one of my all-time Genesis games. Yeah, really won my childhood over. This game made me buy a Genesis. So another game that's really good on the Genesis is this game, Rocket Knight Adventures, and you already see me play this one all the time. It's actually the first in the series. You play as Sparkster, a knight in armor, so you actually had to go out and rescue some princess. And it plays just like kind of similar to a lot of those adventure mascot type games where you have a weapon, you go out and start killing all these enemies with your swords. You actually had to charge up your rockets, try to find secrets around the levels, all that stuff. So you have a little bit of platforming and some actions mixed in there too. So yeah, if you have a Genesis, this is one classic you don't want to miss. Now we go to the N64, and this is one of my best games for the N64. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what this game is. WWF No Mercies on the Nintendo 64. This one has a whole ton of legendary WWF wrestlers in there. You have your Stone Cold Steve Austin, your Rock, your Undertaker, your Ken Shamrock, your Kurt Angle, and yeah, all your stables that you seen back at the Attitude Eras are in here too. There's actually a very good create a wrestlers in there, so you can create any wrestlers you want, even the legendary Hulk Hogan that was at WCW at the time. You can create the badass Undertakers, or you could create the Ministry Undertakers. You can also have other characters, other wrestlers that are no longer with the WWF at the time. So guys like Ken Shamrock are still in the game too. And yeah, it's just a really fun game. It has a four-player simultaneous play there, a very nice championship single-player modes, and a lot of exhibition match modes in there too. So, and the grapple systems and all the gameplay features that it has really blows all the other wrestling games at the time away. It was created by Ake, so the same developer that creates all those WCW games, and published by THQ. So Acclaim is no longer publishing this game, so THQ, the publisher that published those WCW NWO World Tour games, actually work on this, so makes the game that worthwhile. And yeah, compare this to WrestleMania 2000, I actually recommend this one more. Now, my next game is this one, Killer Instinct. Now, many people will argue that they prefer the arcade version better. I don't really care if this is like the arcade version or not. All I care is that it plays good, looks good, sound good, and it kick ass. That's what I have to say about it. And the cartridge is really Looks really, really badass. So nothing else to say about it. If you have this game, play it. Yep. After that, it's this game right here. Top Gear from Kemco. Now, this is a really old game, old racing game from 1992. It was the first of its kind to come to the Super Nintendo, because other racing games before this are like top-down view and kind of like Rock and Roll Racings and Micro Machines, but Top Gear actually lead the way to a whole ton of other racing games that use the 3D perspective. I know there's a lot of other racing games like Mario Kart and F-Zero out there too, but F-Zero is more fantasies and Mario Kart is more cartoony, so Top Gear is actually more of those more realistic racing games on the Super Nintendo. And this one is actually really challenging too. You actually have to choose one of 4 vehicles, travel through different parts of the world, try to best those other computers. And you actually have to race on circuits that requires you to fuel your cars too. So yeah, there's no customization or anything, but I don't really care about customization as long as the gameplay is great. And for me, games like this are what I'm looking for, because it has a whole lot of challenge in there. On one track you can just race it all the way through, but on another tracks it requires you to actually look at your fuels and decide, oh yeah, do you want to keep going or do you actually need to fuel up? So that's what adds to the challenge here. You actually have 3 nitros to help you boost up to get through the competitions. You have 8 different countries or continents to get through too. So on one circuit you'll be racing somewhere in South America, on another you'll be in Japan, and on another after that you'll be touring yourself in Europe. So yeah, this game, it's actually have you travel throughout the entire world and be the best, be the Top Gear best. Now, next game, the games that everybody should love is this one, Mega Man X. So Mega Man X is the first Capcom Mega Man game that I play. I know that many people first started with the original on the Nintendo. Not me. I started with Mega Man X. So this one, great music, great level design, cool power-ups, the ability to get the Hadouken was a bonus, and the story is just phenomenal. It's really enjoyable. It got all the stuff you love about the original Mega Man still in there too, plus some new additions to it. The wall jumps, the sprinting, the chargings, and all those stuff. Also, all the enemies in the games are very original too. You don't have guys like Gutsman or Freezeman or Slashman anymore. Now you got guys like this one. They launch Octopus, or badass villains like Storm Eagles, Show Penguins, Spark Mandrills. Even Sigma is very threatening in this game too. So yeah, Mega Man X, this game, as I can say it, is a masterpiece. So if you haven't played it, look for it. Alright, so I don't know which number I am now, but let's go to the next game. For the PlayStation, I have Chrono Cross. Many people prefer Chrono Triggers, but to me, Chrono Cross is the game that kept me going. So that kept me wanting to learn more about these two characters and all the adventures that comes after and before them. So they actually go through different dimensions, altering different plot stories, and recruiting a whole ton of people to the storyline. So yeah, it's actually a very dramatic stories. Has a lot of cool features that were in the original Chrono Trigger games, and yeah, lots of plot twists. It got like maybe 2 or 3 disc set that gets you back and forth on the events of the game too. So yeah, a very nice PlayStation classic here. You can play this on your PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. So yeah, to me, this is one of those games that after playing it, I still want to come back and look for it again, playing it again, discover new things that I did not discover my first time through. So Chrono Cross, it's definitely one of Squaresoft's best games on the PlayStation, best RPGs on the PlayStations. So if you can find this game cheap for the PlayStation, feel free to go grab it. Now let's go to my other games here. This is Samurai Warriors Chronicles for the 3DS. Now, if you know me, I'm a fan of both Samurai Shodown and Samurai Warriors, so this is the first Samurai Warriors that I got. And the weird thing is, after playing this one, I bought Samurai Warrior 3s for the Wii, and I actually love this one more than the one on the Wii's. Because of one thing, this one allows you to control not just one, but 3 other characters in the game. So you actually have a touchscreen functionalities in there where you can actually change to different officers. Yeah, to me that definitely adds a lot of depth to the games. There's also a whole ton of chapters in there that really flesh out the stories between the histories and stuff in the games. So you actually have to learn more about all the characters and officers that joins you, guys like Nobunaga, Ieyatsu's, Yukimura's, and all those Hanzo's and all those other characters. So yeah, and unlock a lot of their weapons in the games too. So yeah, Samurai Warriors Chronicle, definitely a good buy for me. I bought this during the launch of the 3DS, and I have to say, I'm definitely glad that I did that. Alright, so next we have this game, Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube. So this game is one of the few RPG games that I actually got through with and then wanted to play it more. Just like Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, there is a lot of plot twists in here. It's one of the longest games that I played too, like Chrono Cross, and it's GameCube exclusives. You have Lloyd here, Sheena, Zelos, and Colette, as well as other characters too. But yeah. And yeah, the game is just a really fun game to play as. You have your active battle system there. You have 2 worlds you need to explore, and you have a very enchanting stories that you need to get around with. At first, it's basically just a simple story of going out and trying to restore the world, but after that, you notice that, yeah, instead of restoring the world, you're actually going to destroy the world. And then later, you actually want to save that world. So yeah, Tales of Symphonia, great masterpiece from Namco. Alright, so moving on, we got this game. Now, I enjoyed the Dreamcast original and the Soul Blade game that was released on the PlayStation, but things get really interesting with me once Soul Calibur 2 came out. And I actually have Soul Calibur 2 on on all 3 systems. So this is the one on the GameCube, and yeah. The reason I bought those 3 is because they actually have different guest characters in there. So I basically bought this one for Link, and I bought the other 2, one for Heihachi and one for Spawn. But yes, my brother took the one from that has Heihachi, and I actually got rid of the one for Spawn because nobody played that game. But Link, this one is the most played one, so Soul Calibur 2 for the GameCube is actually really enjoyable. And since the only difference is the guest character, getting rid of Heihachi and Spawn is a good idea, because basically Link is the only one that it's important to me, because Link has some very good arsenal of moves in this game. You also, my other favorite character in this game is also Mitsurugi here, and Talon, a new character to the Soul Calibur series as well. Now the only thing that's kind of disappointing is that the GameCube, there's no online play with the GameCube, so you can't really play Soul Calibur 2 online. Fortunately, it's not really a big deal since you can't play the other two online as well, but Namco did re-release Soul Calibur 2 in HD for Xbox 360s, is it? And the PS3, so if you have those systems, you can basically play this game for those online and with Heihachi and Spawn. Fortunately, I don't really care much for that one since I don't really like Heihachi and Spawn, but I did download that one and play it. It was very enjoyable, but it's not the same without Link, because to me, Link was the reason I bought this game. And then I actually learned more about the rest of these other characters. So Soul Calibur 2 for GameCube, it's one of the more enjoyable games out there. It's also one of the best sellers out there too. So this is, since I love weapon-based fighting games nowadays, this is not a bad deal for me. So if you find Soul Calibur 2, it doesn't matter which version of Soul Calibur 2 you got, if you can find it for cheap on a PS2, Xbox, or the GameCube, then feel free to pick it up. Alright, so for the PS2 here, everybody knows what these games is. Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, that is. Now I combine all of these games into one because I actually had a hard time choosing which one I want in this top 15, so I'll just put them all together as one. There's Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. These games blew my teenage mind at the time. So these games actually made me enjoy open world games, because usually I never enjoy open world games before. So Grand Theft Auto trilogies, they may be disgusting at times, but they are very enjoyable. And nowadays I actually enjoyed these three more than the one that just came out. So Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5. Even though I haven't gotten to 4 and 5 yet, I will try to see if I can get through with them. But with these three, I actually enjoy Vice City more, but I actually got a hard time. I actually do return to part 3 and San Andreas from time to time as well, but I actually feel that Vice City is much better. So, but everybody has their taste. So, Grand Theft Auto trilogies, that's the game. One of the greatest. Alright, so what else do we have here? We have this guy. Now, you know me, I'm a Samurai Shodown fan, so definitely I will add this to one of my favorites as well. And this is the Samurai Shodown Anthology here. So as you can see, that's a really cool design right there. And this collection has all 6 of the main Samurai Shodown games in there too. So as you can see, it has the arcade version of the first Samurai Shodown, Samurai Shodown 2, Samurai Shodown 3, Samurai Shodown 4, Samurai Shodown 5, and Samurai Shodown 6. Now that's a good deal right there, because usually having just Samurai Shodown 6 is already enough, but they have to add 5 more to it. That's a great bonus right there. Now, many people will have a minor complaints that it's missing one other game, the Samurai Showdown 5 Special, that is actually uncensored and very gory. I too would prefer that game too, but yeah, since we already got 5 and we definitely need 6, and since this game was meant for us to have 6 anyways, yeah, I actually have to say having these 6 games in here is a good deal. Bought this for only 20 bucks, and having 6 of these awesome Samurai Showdown classics in here for just 20 bucks, to me that's a good deal right there. And yeah, it actually has other bonus features in here too. There's some the original Samurai Showdown soundtracks in there, as well as some of those arranged soundtracks too that I really love. And this box art is really nice too. So yeah, if you're a Samurai Showdown fans and you really want to find arcade perfect version of these games, yeah, feel free to get Samurai Showdown Anthology. It's available on the PlayStation 2, the Wii, and the PSP. So if you want an on-the-go play, get on the PSP. If you want the PS2, get on that too. But to me, I have the Wii version. I don't care if it's the best or not. I just care that it's the opportunity for me to play all of these. So yeah, someday I'll be doing a review on all of them, but for now, this is the game for me. Alright, so my last game, my absolute last game and best game that I ever play is this one, Rayman Origins. Now, if you're a platforming gamers like I do, you know that this is, and if I had to say it, the best all-time 2D platformers out there. To me, this game definitely beats out any Super Mario games ever created, because if you look at the back here, yeah, it has all the amazing artwork designs, some very clever levels, all the great musics, and a ton and tons of secrets. And it also supports all these classic controls, so you actually could play co-ops with friends in it too. So it's actually the co-op here is actually much better than what Nintendo have with the new Super Mario Bros. Games. And yeah, it's just a really fun game to play. This is the Wii version, but there's also Rayman Origins also on the PlayStation 3, 360, and the 3DS. But I recommend getting this on the Wii. And I really thought it doesn't really matter if it's HD or not. All that really matters is the level, the fun, the games, and all the stuffs that are in there. Everything that I have to say about this games are a treat to behold. There's no laziness status that you can see with the game at all. You can see all these wacky cartoony design up here, all the wacky intros, all those collectibles that you can get, and levels you can unlock. Yeah, never could a game like Rayman here actually make me very excited, but yeah, this is actually the third Rayman game that I played. The very first one was on the PlayStation, and the second one was actually just a re-release of that on the Game Boy Advance. And this is the third one. I actually did try a Rayman 3D games and didn't really like it that much, but this Rayman Origin game's one of the best. I'm looking forward to getting the sequel to this, the Rayman Legends, that's coming out, that's already out on the Wii U, if I could find it. But if you're a platformers and you love platforming games like I do, Rayman Origin here is the game to get. So yep, so that's pretty much all the 15 games that I love there might be more that I haven't discussed here, like Chrono Triggers and Metroids and all that stuff, but you know, I can't put all of them into this one videos. I have to just tell you straight away my 15 best one, and to me, all of these games here, yeah, if you can see it, all of these games here are the 15s that I want and I love. So games like these, games like Grand Theft Autos and Soul Calibur 2s and all that stuff. So yeah, I hope that you have a good day. Feel free to tell me your 15 greatest games that you love. And yeah, if you could share your thoughts, share your comments, video response, which one is your favorites, anything. So yeah, you have a great day.